All right, we'll get to the Cowboys in just a second, but first, couple of big plays from last night. Mavs next.
Luka.
Joe Harris dropping Luka.
Joe Harris, one of the best three-point shooters in the league. Don't see this from
not
Mario.
one of the best, the best. He's shooting the highest percentage in the league,
He
dog.
is shooting the highest percentage. I wouldn't call him the best three-point shooter in the league, but he does have the highest
47% from deep, homie. Get
Hawks
it right.
and Heat. DeAndre Bembry keeps finding his way into butt first with a nice little reverse slam.
Hawks are a fun team to watch now.
That's who we're watching?
Well, I mean, I try to watch the whole league. I like to watch Trae Young.
These jerseys, man, the Hawks got to do something for me,
Oh, you mean you're confused by it because it looks like it's Clippers.
Clippers.
Pelicans, Jazz. Anthony Davis with those go-go gadget arms, Nick.
Stop stealing my lines, Jenna.
That is not your line.
Go-go gadget is something I came up
It's
with.
actually what your wife Danielle came up with.
Wasn't it a character? Wasn't it like a cartoon?
Yeah, Inspector Gadget.
Did you invent it?
No, I'm the one that brought it to the sports world.
You just got here last week.
And that's when people started saying that.
All right, Nick.
You ain't never heard that before.
You want to play a little take your pick? I'll take
I
that
heard
as a
Tom
yes.
Jackson say that about 20 years ago.
Top two NFL free agents
On
are
countdown.
off the board with DeMarcus Lawrence and Jadeveon Clowney both receiving the franchise tags yesterday. So which player is poised to have a better season, Lawrence or Clowney? CC, take your pick.
I'm going to go with Clowney. And the reason why is because I like the way they match him up. He plays left defensive end, right defensive end. Sometimes they put him up in the middle of the defense where he's able to blitz from there. And he's outstanding tackles for losses. Lawrence is a good football player. I believe Clowney is a better football player.
I think Clowney's a better football player, and given the suspensions to Irving and Gregory, I think DeMarcus Lawrence, when he does get back with the Cowboys, going to be double-teamed more next year than he has any of the last 2 years. I think Clowney has been poised for the health and playing alongside Watt. They've been waiting and
He's
waiting
been
and waiting.
through that tough part of his career.
Absolutely.
Maybe DeMarcus Lawrence is getting to that injury part.
And so, I think Clowney is the guy we thought he was coming out of South Carolina, and we have seen flashes of it. I think we'll see a full season of it this year.
And a lot of people don't look at it. Clowney is a better run defender than DeMarcus Lawrence is. So both of those, pass rushing and the ability to stop that run.
With franchise tags being thrown around, there's been a shakeup in free agent rankings. Safeties Landon Collins and Earl Thomas now find themselves as the top targets. So which player would you rather see your team go after, Earl Thomas or Landon Collins? CC, take your pick.
Well, my team already has two good safeties in the Minnesota Vikings. But if I was advising someone else, I would have, and this is tough on me. Earl is one of my favorite players, but is he one collision away from being out of football? I'm going with Landon Collins because I still believe he can grow his game. I believe he's a Pro Bowl safety. He can play deep in the middle. He can play in the cavity of the defense, tackles behind the line of scrimmage. I believe there's more versatility to Landon Collins at this point in his career, and the longevity is definitely in his favor.
So your answer on this one surprises me because you say I don't listen to you, and when I was thinking about this answer, I thought about something you said on this show in the last week, which is in the NFL, ain't no 5 years we're thinking about. We're thinking about this coming year and the year after. Everything after that, don't worry about it.
Yes.
And for the next 2 years, I think Earl Thomas is a better player. I think Landon Collins is going to have a longer career. He's younger. I get all that. But right now, I still think Earl Thomas showed us last year in his limited action. He was still the best free safety in football.
How the season
So
is?
I would go, he broke his leg. Oh, or broke his arm? He broke something. I know he broke his arm. No, he broke his leg this year, broke his arm a couple
And
years
this
ago.
is the reason why Earl gets in a lot of violent collisions. Now, Collins is a dynamic player. He gets into collisions too, but he doesn't come out.
He hadn't been missing time the way Earl has. That's a totally fair critique.
Yeah.
Earl Thomas.
So if you listen to me, listen to me.
Okay. Earl Thomas is my pick. I think he's the better player, and I think he's going to be healthy.
All right, let's move on to the Raiders now. They have jumped out as the front runner to trade for Antonio Brown this offseason, with the Arizona Cardinals right behind them. So where's the better landing spot for AB, Raiders or Cardinals? Nick, take your pick.
Man, I don't want Larry Fitzgerald to have to deal with Antonio Brown in his swan song season, and I want some fireworks. And I think Gruden and Antonio Brown, Mr. 10-year contract, Mr. Big Chest, I want to see those two guys get together. So I say Oakland. We know Oakland has a need. We know they got plenty of draft picks. We know they got money to spend because they didn't spend it on Amari or Khalil Mack. It would be an odd culture decision to say we're getting rid of these good guys to bring in this guy who's got a really, let's call it, sketchy off-field history, recent history. But I'd say the Raiders for the entertainment value. See?
Well, AB, man, he's not going to listen to a lot of people, but I do believe there's one person he'll listen to, and that's Larry Fitzgerald. I would like to have him there. I believe believe Larry can do a great deal of benefit for him at this stage of his career. Cliff Kingsbury is taking over. They're probably going to draft Kyler Murray. Exciting things happening in the desert, playing inside. I believe Larry can take that heat off of him for that first year. They also have plenty of money to be able to make him potentially happy. Steve Keim, the general manager, he's had personalities like him before, even though Larry's not one of them. So I believe he should go back to school and sit under Larry Fitzgerald for a year, and maybe he might learn something and get rid of that gold mustache and part of that blue hair. That would be a beginning. But Fitzy would do him a world of good.
All right, we got to take a break. Coming up, has the media criticism of Kyrie Irving gone too far? We hear it from him next. This is First Things First.
I was getting ready to get you, Mr. Big Chest. I was getting ready to get you. I got a guy in my studio. His name is really Mr. Big Chest. It ain't self-appointed, though. Also,
this is your invitation to exhilaration. This is the